I was watching this Vlad TV interview and he was interviewing Oschino from State Property. And Vlad was talking about a book that I thought was so profound. And the book was called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I first heard about this book by reading Warren Buffett book. If y'all don't know who Warren Buffett is probably worth $150 billion. And so Oschino was like, y'all heard about that book. That's the book Charles Manson was reading to get his people to follow him. But Vlad was like, that ain't what it was used for. A lot of billionaires, millionaires read it. And those people who apply those principles, basically who become millionaires and billionaires. And it proved the fact that I always knew that I tell the kids on my basketball team, a good attitude will take you way further than like your grade point average, your talent, or what you know, or your work ethic. Because everything in life is tied to a person. Whether it's that person hiring you, whether it's that person opening up a door for you, or that person giving you a platform. And a lot of times a person would deal with somebody who they actually like and could get along with than a person who actually more talented or qualified. And that's just like us. Think about ourselves. We would rather deal with a person less talented, but who we get along with and have to deal with for a long period of time. We just rather deal with somebody we're comfortable with, somebody who ain't argumentative, not a know-it-all, not a person gonna overtalk us, a person who ain't self-accountable, than deal with a person who we just don't like, who always arguing, always got something to say, just a bad negative attitude. We'd rather deal with somebody who make us feel good than somebody who always tear us down, always a negative complainer. And so I tell my kids on my basketball team this all the time. I done seen basketball players lose a whole scholarship because they done pouted, stomped off because they got took off the game. And the college scout will be like, you know what? I don't want to deal with that. I deal with a player less talented and just help him develop more, but he have a good attitude. Nobody wants to deal with a person with a funky attitude. You're going to get fired from every job. You're going to break up every relationship, friendship, everything you ever had. You will lose it with a bad attitude. People, I start my own business. Who want to buy products from you? I done seen my homeboy email on the block was saying it was a good restaurant in Toledo, but dude there had a bad attitude. He said, man, forget this good food. I'd rather go get some mediocre food with people who pleasant. In Toledo, I used to get my haircut from a guy. He wasn't the best barber in the world, but he was friendly, had a good attitude, and just a good person. And it's a person in a chair next door to him had the best cuts, but his attitude was funky, and I didn't like him, so I didn't go to him. And so that's like life, bro. Our attitude is everything. Everything we want and need is tied to a person. And so we got to be likable. We can't have this funky attitude because a bad attitude and being disrespectful will close doors. And that's what popped in my head when I thought about that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Vlad was saying all the CEOs of these billion-dollar companies, that's not the most talented person, not the most educated person, not the hardest working person, but the most likable person who know how to lead and manage people and get along with people and make a better work environment. Those are the people who run these companies. And the people with the high intellects and stuff like that is the people who work for them. So let me know if y'all agree or disagree in the comments below that a good attitude is down to the most important thing to have in this world. And I'm out.